Tere tulimast, Jazzkaarist. Welcome back to Jazzkaar with Viljandi Vibes. We are here in the Palace of Glittering Delight, which is Vabalava in Tallinn. And we've got something very special now, a four-way collaboration between Kadri Voorand, Liisi Koikson, Jaak Sooäär and Daniel.
Rannal kohvi keitettiin ja sulatettiin voita. Tinna, 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 tin. Toval näkyy tulova ja punaposki poika. Tinna, 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 tin. Laivon mie on syntynyt ja laivolle on luotu. Tinna, 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 tin. Laivoin kiparin kannel pääl ja ristiäisto joutuu. Tinna, 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 tin. Katson laivon ikkunasta, ruutu oli riiti. Tinna, 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 tin. Kultain käveli rannalla ja katkerasta itki. Tinna, 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 tin. Tinna, 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 tinna.
Amazing stuff, guys. Perhaps we should begin by introducing the people for the people who don't know. So it's Kadri nearest to me, then Liisi, and then Pole, and then Jaak. Yes. Okay. So maybe you can start by telling us why you chose to collaborate for Jazzkaar this year.
I think you have to ask Jaak. Maybe he's the source.
Well. Our inspiration is music of Veljo Tormis, renowned Estonian composer, choir music composer mainly, who used Estonian and Finno-Ugric folk music as source to his compositions. And these compositions are very. They have something special in it, and they really invite to improvise. This is what I felt, and Kadri felt the same, and we had a plan to interpret his music. We had this plan for some years already, but Veljo Tormis had the 85th birthday last August, and then we decided that now we must do it. And so this is why we have this quartet here, to celebrate Veljo Tormis' music.
So perhaps I can ask all of you, and whoever can choose to answer this. When you are taking on the music of someone as renowned as Veljo Tormis, is there a weight of expectation? Is there pressure on your shoulders a little bit?
We took the pressure off, but of course many tunes are actually almost the original choir arrangements.
But fortunately, he's also that kind of a composer. It seems that he's not very strict about that you have to do it exactly how I did it and don't change anything. Because I understand that he spoke to Jaak and he was quite happy that we are doing these his arrangements in giving them a new life.
And of course, it's not the first time for any of you that you've done a tribute arrangement to an older artist. But looking back through all of your many Jazzkaar appearances, perhaps I can go down each one of you from nearest to furthest. What is your proudest moment at Jazzkaar over the years? Start with Kadri.
Well, I'm very lucky that I've been part of Jazzkaar the whole time I've been an adult or old enough to perform at Jazzkaar. And it's been very different each year. But I guess one of my highlights has become this year, because it's the first time that I'm one of the head performers, and it's been taking quite a while to get there. But it's also the main stage, and there's a TV live recording of it made. But I guess this project is also very, very special, because I have a very strong connection to Veljo music personally. And to respond to your previous question, is that I don't believe that we can actually ruin it or wreck it too much, because I guess we kind of feel the music, how it is already very strongly, that maybe we can't be too wrong, because we just have been attached to the original version so much. I've sang those songs in choir, but we both, with Liisi and all the group, we have listened this music. So this project is definitely one of the projects in my heart as well. So yeah, this year is very special.
Liisi?
Well, I remember I had, I think my first big, was a lot of pressure on me because I was so young, and it was all these people came to see me, and it was different, and I would probably do it differently now, but I remember that was very important to me. And maybe next year I will be able to be here with my new album. We'll see.
Well, I look forward to that. Yeah, actually, if I may, you've always tried to change your style. So obviously, you began with pop, and then you moved on to a kind of a jazz style. And is this new music going to be a totally different style again?
It might actually. It's going to change quite a lot from the previous stuff. So, yeah.
So, Paul, your proudest moment in Jazzkaar?
Well, I've been on the Jazzkaar concerts since '89, so not from the start. But I just came up from like few names like British Django Bates. That was very strange concert. I remember, and this Joe Francesco, the organ player, I enjoyed also. Just a few names.
And Jaak?
Yes, I have followed Jazzkaar from the beginning also, and I was really young, and I was very enthusiastic, and I went to many sound checks to see how the foreign musicians work. We had very little going on here at that time, and it has been like a real university for me. It's difficult to pick even any concerts, but I think the brightest memories of as a listener, I think from the beginning of Jazzkaar, from the 90s, when Jazzkaar was in October, actually, originally, together with Jazz Happening Finnish Festival in Tampere, and they really brought some on the edge artists who were really like progressive at that time, and I think it really influenced my my way of thinking and growth as a musician. So I wish this type of artists would come up more often here nowadays too.
And actually, mentioning a university, you are a head of department at the Academy of Music, aren't you? Is that right?
Yes, I am, yes.
So does being around all of those young budding musicians change the way that you think about music?
Yes, I think so. I think teacher always learns the most during the lesson, so I'm used to that.
Okay, so when we look at this project, is this in some ways a more complex and difficult collaboration to put together than some of the others that you've been involved in over the years?
Well, it definitely took some special effort in the rehearsal process. We have rehearsed quite a lot. And I guess in jazz it's very often that you just come together, play from a lead sheet and see what happens, and then there are those other projects that you work on very hard. I guess this is like something in the middle, because we have composed some of it, and the sound has grown through the rehearsals to something that I guess it's a little bit different from what we heard in our heads maybe before. And I love that we have been into this process, that we took those hours and days and weeks off to actually get into it and get the best result. And but I mean, this project is very much near to my heart, so it's very enjoyable.
Well, and speaking about something else near to your heart, your new album Ammutanud is out today, is it not?
Yes, and tomorrow it's going to be the presentation concert at Jazzkaar.
So palju õnne for that. And
Aitäh.
so as I understand, the name Ammutanud means drunk in love in English, yes?
Yes, well, we also translated it love intoxication. So it's it's drunk from love, but in English it sounds so sweet. But in Estonian, the word is not in our books. It's made up. It's a kind of a rebel word, more than it sounds in English. So we are really, I guess, a little bit drunk with the band from love.
So there's no it's purely a coincidence that Beyonce should have her album out at the same time, having written "Drunk in Love" herself.
I had no idea. Well, there we go. Yeah, maybe.
So something is happening in the cosmos to make that happen, isn't it? It's amazing. And Liisi, I loved your Billie Holiday tribute concert last year. It was the 100th anniversary of Billie Holiday's birth, I think, or yeah. And so for that, I mean, obviously, again, there was an expectation on you to make something really great. But did you feel a kind of pressure not to deviate too much from her original style when you were singing and performing that with the band? Well, as in change too much from the original template.
Well, the goal was to still remain in that cool 30s vibe in a way. But, you know, of course, my voice and Billie Holiday's voice are so different. And it was, well, if to do like a evil joke on her, then we said that I should have drunk a lot the day before, and maybe then my voice would have like gotten down to that ruggedness that I would have needed. But I still really enjoyed that because, well, she didn't write that many songs herself, but the songs that she sang, she had a tough life, and you can tell it from the songs that she sings and how she does it. And I have listened to her a lot, and at first it was a bit strange because exactly the voice isn't like a beautiful voice; it's more like a storytelling voice. So it took time.
And when you're a singer who's had totally different experiences in your life and not had Billie Holiday's experiences, how do you get inside the head of somebody in that way and cover their songs?
Well, it's like being an actor or an actress. Like, you haven't done it, but you can kind of still understand that there's pain involved and there's disappointment involved, and I wouldn't call it like you can fake it, but you can still go in there and browse around and kind of still bring something similar out of yourself as well.
Okay. So if we want to see all four of you together, where do we go at Jazzkaar, and what time will it be happening?
Well, you have to be quick because it's today.
9:30, isn't it, tonight? 9:30?
Is it 9:30?
I think concert starts at 9, but we are the last one, so 10 something.
Okay, fantastic. So make sure you have your tickets. Make sure you get down to Vabalava for these guys. What are you going to perform for us last?
We will perform a game song, one part of Veljo Tormis song cycle games, Estonian game songs. It's called Finger Binding Game.
Right, well, thank you so much for talking to me and talking to us. This is Viljandi Vibes with Jazzkaar 2016. We are live from Tallinn, and this is Kadri Voorand, Liisi Koikson, Daniel, and Jaak Sooäär. Thank you.
Kesän mõtsa puidaragu, toome tüli, toome ladu, toome lilluse hääl. Mihkel mõtsa puidaragu, toome tüli, Kesel süve vereme, toome tüli, toome ladu, toome lilluse hääl. Mõni süve vereme, toome tüli, Katski mainikene, toome tüli, toome ladu, toome lilluse hääl. Mä hingin nii vihklikene, toome tüli, toome ladu, toome
Thank you.